It is a moonless night inside a quiet, dimly lit tent. Warlord Zafar Khan embraces King Rudradev, fully believing the young Rajput ruler has come to surrender his kingdom. To understand how a reigning monarch ended up alone in a hostile warlord's tent, we have to rewind. Days earlier, Zafar Khan's forces were marching across the desert. He commanded thousands of soldiers, heavily armored cavalry, and cannons, leaving a trail of destroyed temples in his wake as he advanced toward Kumbhalgarh Fort. For the Rajputs inside, the mathematical reality was grim. Meeting Zafar Khan's massive force in a direct, head-on battlefield clash meant guaranteed suicide for the king's vastly outnumbered army. Inside the fort, Queen Mother Rani Devkumar delivered a chilling ultimatum to her son. She told King Rudradev that if Zafar Khan survived this invasion, Rudradev would be stripped of his royal blood and disowned as her son. Under this extreme pressure, Rudradev abandoned traditional warfare entirely. He opted for a surgical assassination, deciding to weaponize the geography of his own home to execute it. Look at Kumbhalgarh Fort. The first layer of Rudradev's trap relies on scale, with massive stone walls sprawling endlessly across the steep Aravalli mountain ridge. Now look closer at these overlapping rounded battlements. An approaching army immediately faces a major geographical anomaly. There is no obvious entrance. The overlapping outer architecture deliberately hides the gateway from the exterior line of sight, creating instant confusion for any invading force. Once an enemy finally locates the approach, the pathways punish them. The geometry here is designed with extremely jagged, winding switchbacks. These sharp turns physically break the kinetic charging momentum of cavalry, forcing them to a crawl. Hidden inside the structural blind spots of those forced turns was an architectural network of isolated alcoves. Inside, 30 elite Rajput soldiers waited in absolute silence. Kumbhalgarh's walls act as a physical machine. They strip the enemy of their orientation and bleed away their kinetic energy before a single weapon is drawn. A perfectly engineered kill zone requires a target. Shifting focus to the human mind, Rudradev identified Zafar Khan's defining vulnerability, his unchecked arrogance. The king played directly to the warlord's ego. He sent a message feigning complete cowardice, offering his total surrender, and requesting a solitary, unarmed meeting to submit in person. This specific, highly localized offer bypassed the threat of the massive invading army entirely. It effectively severed the commander from his thousands of guards. A fortress is useless if an invading commander simply waits outside to starve the inhabitants. By leveraging human psychology, Rudradev coerced the enemy leader into walking willingly into the center of the trap. Back in the tent, the false embrace ends. Zafar Khan betrays the truce and drives a dagger toward the king's chest. But the blade hits solid metal. Rudradev anticipated the betrayal and wore hidden armor beneath his robes. Before the warlord can recover, Rudradev strikes back. Take a look at these historical Rajput weapons from a museum display. Using concealed iron claws similar to these bladed hand weapons, the king delivers a severe, tearing wound to Zafar Khan. Zafar Khan lets out an agonizing scream. That specific sound was the exact audio trigger Rudradev's forces were waiting for. The macro trap springs to life. From the hidden architectural blind spots, arrows and stones rain down in total darkness. Because of the deceptive geometry, the panicked enemy camp cannot pinpoint the source of the assault, rendering their numbers useless. As the wounded Zafar Khan attempts to flee the chaotic tent, a Rajput soldier named Veernath steps out of the shadows and delivers the final fatal blow. By drawing the head of the army into a localized, tightly controlled ambush, Rudradev successfully neutralized thousands of invading soldiers without deploying his men into a traditional open-field slaughter. By dawn, the violence of the night gives way to a quiet desert morning. The saffron flag still flies over the untouched temple complex, resting securely behind the long, winding walls. Kumbhalgarh Fort maintains a rare historical distinction. Despite the massive forces sent against it, it was never successfully conquered in battle. The fort's invincibility relied on human intellect to activate the stone. King Rudradev utilized psychological manipulation, strategic architecture, and calculated risk to engineer a flawless shield for his people.